and welcome back to Kallerhult Creations. Today I'm gonna film a vlog or follow me around kind of day, kind of video, and you know, just another day in the life of a dog-owned artist, pregnant mom, me. Yeah, so that's gonna be this video. On the schedule today, I have to pop into town because I have an appointment with my midwife. I am currently 23 weeks pregnant, or 23 plus 0, so I'm technically in week 24. Yeah, it's a science just knowing how far along you are. Anyway, I have an order to drop off the post office, and I'm also gonna pick up a package, and then when I get home, just work stuff, you know. So we'll see if this is going to be an interesting day or not. Hopefully it will be. And yeah, so that's my day. First, breakfast, feed the dogs, clean up a bit, and package the order. See you later. I am back home again in my room of requirement, or my super messy office, and everything went well, except that when I was gonna turn in the package, it's not a postal office, it's like a candy shop that has been dealing with skänker. I don't know how to pronounce it in like English, but we say skänker. Anyway, they're going to close down, so they had closed their postal service, so I have to go to another place and send off my package. Anyway, the midwife appointment was really nice and it went very well, and the baby is growing as it's supposed to, and I am not growing. Well, yeah, my tummy is growing, but my weight has actually, I have only gained 100 grams, or actually I gained like 2 kilos, but I have lost 1.8 kilos. So currently I am just 100 grams heavier than I was when I became pregnant. So that's nice, because I am quite overweight from before. When I started taking anti-anxiety meds, my body just kind of like that. That's a scientific definition of gaining weight. Yeah, so anyway, it's great if I don't gain too much weight now. Yeah, so I just want to talk a bit about my pregnancy, and I do apologize. I don't know if I should apologize or something. I don't know like where in my office I should be recording, so I basically just popped up my camera and started talking. Anyway, I have been pregnant before, as you know. I have a son who's 3 years old soon. In June he's 3 years old, and that pregnancy was... I swore I would never be pregnant again, because I was in so much pain, and it took just such a toll on me. I had pelvic girdle pains from week 7, and they usually occur like much later on in the pregnancy. And if you don't know what it is, when I tried to explain it to my boyfriend, I said that it felt like I had broken my tail. I don't have a tail, but you know, the tailbone. It felt like it was broken. I was in so much pain, and later on in the pregnancy it felt like someone was, you know, taking big nails, spikes and stuff, and just popping them up into my pelvic area, into my bones and joints, and it's not fun. It's not fun at all. I think I'm a bit brighter? Darker? Perfect. So the pelvic girdle pain hasn't stopped in between the pregnancies, and I think that's one of the reasons it doesn't hurt as much now, because I'm used to it, and also it's nowhere near as bad as it was when I was expecting Linus. When I was expecting him, at times I couldn't go to bed myself. My boyfriend had to help me like get down into bed. I couldn't go to the bathroom myself. He had to help me like sit down and get up from the toilet. And when we moved to our house, it was great because I didn't have to go out to take walks with the dogs, because I could barely walk. I was on crutches from, I don't remember quite when, but I think it was like before half the pregnancy had passed. I had to have like 2 crutches because I was in so much pain I couldn't walk. So it was great when we moved to the house, because we had a big garden or backyard or whatever that the dogs could be in, and I could also take my car out into the woods and just let them run around. But the downside was that we had stairs. So we have like a 3-story, it's called 3 stories. Yeah, so a basement where my office is, and we have the entry floor where the kitchen is and stuff, and then we have the 2nd floor where our bedroom is. So yeah, lots of stairs, and I actually had to wear pants so I could like grab a hold of the fabric in my pants and lift my legs, because I couldn't lift them. I had really hard time walking up small hills, so whenever my boyfriend was with me, he had to go behind and just push me up the hills. And that's even, you know, like the driveway, it's a bit like a slope. Couldn't walk there. This pregnancy is it's like, this was my previous pregnancy, this is this pregnancy. I'm like, okay, let's have 3 more children. I'm a natural at this. I also feel so much better mentally, because the first time it's quite a shock, because your mental capacity kinda vanishes. I try to explain it like, you take all your brain cells and you give them to your fetus. That's pretty much what happens. Once I accepted that I was pretty much stupid, not stupid, but you know, I couldn't count on my intellect to remember stuff, to understand stuff, to make logical connections. I mean, my cognitive skills were like non-existent. For example, I saw a penguin in our garden, and I was wondering, why is there a penguin in our garden? And I stood there for like 3 minutes watching that penguin walking around in a garden. I was like, should I call it a zoo or whatever? What's, you know, it's so weird to have a penguin in your garden, especially if you live in Sweden. Until I realized it was a magpie. So for me it was completely natural, and of course it was a penguin. Yeah, so that's just one of the occasions. I had another story when we lived in our apartment in Gothenburg. and we get our mail through a little slit in the door, so it lands on like the rug we had just inside the door. So I went there, picked up an invoice for my boyfriend had ordered something, so I got an invoice that he could go and fetch his package, and I was gonna put it on my desk, which was 3 meters away from the door, and on the way from the door to my desk, I managed to misplace the invoice. I have no idea where it is. I have no idea where it went. I never found it again, and I was looking all over. I was crying like a mad person, just crying, looking all over for that stupid invoice, and calling my boyfriend. I was like completely torn up. He thought someone had died or something, but I just misplaced this invoice. I looked in the trash, I looked in the freezer, I looked everywhere and couldn't find it. So he said, well, go to the store where they give out the parcels and just ask if you can fetch it anyway. So I went there, I couldn't do that. I went into the store and bought like a loaf of bread or something, and then he called me on my way home and asked, oh, how are you, honey? And I was like, what's happening? I had completely forgotten that I had like been dying of tears. I was gonna drown in my own tears, but that had slipped my mind. I mean, it had been like 15-30 minutes or so. So yeah, first pregnancy, it was so many changes that I wasn't really I didn't know that they were gonna come on, and yeah, so this pregnancy, it's been, well, first of all, since I have not been in so much pain as I was the last time, that's a major factor in why I feel so much better. And also I'm much more prepared on what's going on, and how I might feel and what struggles I might go through. So I'm telling you guys, if there's anyone out there who had a first baby and had a lousy pregnancy, don't swear off having another child. It doesn't have to be as bad. And yeah, I'm only in week 24 or 23 plus 0, so going into week 24. There's plenty of time to both gain weight and gain pain and lose your mind. But so far I feel really good. So the last time I had like, oh, I don't know what it's called in English. Carpal tunnel syndrome. It's something when it swells up like in your hands and arms, so you can't really grip things and you have much pain. So actually I was like a Terminator, because I had on my both hands I had some kind of protection support gear thingy. My knees were pretty much resigning, so I had like my huge knee protection English, you know. So I had my knee thingies, and I had crutches. Yeah, and I gained 27 kilos. Okay. Yep, so that's my pregnancy story. And I don't think I really had like a red thread through me talking. You're welcome. Yeah. So, okay. So I just checked my to-do list for today, and it's basically mostly computer work. I'm gonna send off some scans to a client to get them approved. I am going to email a bunch of people and such, so it won't be that much fun to watch. And yes, I'm gonna insert some footage after this, but this is gonna be the last talking phase of this vlog. I hope you enjoyed. It's a bit lengthy, but it was fun, and I mean, I do it primarily to remember myself in the future. No, not to remember myself in the future, but for myself in the future to remember what I did. And also, if you enjoy, please give the thumbs up. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Yeah, so have a lovely day. Hej då!